Hey everybody, welcome to J City Reviews. Thanks for stopping by today. I feel like we have a special video. I'm excited because we're reviewing the very first watch that I purchased about 5 years ago now. I think even a little more than 5 years ago. And it's the watch that got me started into watch collecting. It got me started in the watch community and just piqued my interest in getting to know more about watches. And that watch is the Casio Pro Trek PRG-270, and this one is the -1A version, which is a Japanese model. This was the first watch that I bought over 5 years ago, and I still have it. I've really worn it almost every day of those 5 years until I started purchasing other watches and added them to the rotation. But this watch has been on my wrist for so long and through so many different circumstances. I want to share some of those today as we review this watch. But I hope you enjoy it. And if you enjoy this video, I hope that you'll subscribe. We're a new channel. We've been making content slowly but surely about watches and different other reviews. And so thanks for tuning in. As you can see, we're very low budget. Down here in my basement, and you might hear different sounds upstairs and water maybe trickling through the pipes, but we appreciate you stopping by, and we hope that you'll stay and subscribe and go on this journey together as we grow here on YouTube. But let's get right into this watch, this review of the Casio PRG-270, the Pro Trek. And I kind of want to ask the question today, is this Casio Pro Trek perhaps the best ABC watch on the market for the money? So we're going to talk about that. And of course, if you want to comment and leave your thoughts, you're welcome to do that. Or if you have any questions for me, I'd love to answer those. I read the comments and I try and respond to every one of them. So I like to have active comments down there. So let's get right into it and look at this watch under the lights. Well, here it is in all its scratched up and dented glory. Again, this is the Casio Pro Trek PRG-270-1A, and I've had this watch for over 5 years now, and you can tell that by all the scratches and dents. I haven't even cleaned this watch up. You might see dust and debris in different places, and if you look close enough you can see different brown colored dots in various places. That's from when I was staining my fence in my backyard. Some of the spray went onto this watch because I was wearing this while I was doing that. So this watch has been with me for a long time, and I've done a lot of things with it, which we'll talk about in a moment. I'm sorry for the glare. I feel like this watch has super bad glare. All watches do, but this one especially, and that's one of the things I don't like about this Casio Pro Trek here, is that there's such a glare, and sometimes it does make the negative display a little hard to read. But we'll get into some more of the things I don't like about it in a little while. But let's first talk about some things that I love about this watch. And overall, I really do love it. It's been a great watch for me for the last 5 years. I've spent a lot of time with it and gotten to know it pretty well. What drew me to this watch initially is the tactical look of it. That's why I bought this watch initially. I was looking for something tactical looking, something all black, which could go with a lot of various outfits, you might say. And I found this, and I was really intrigued by the design. You know, I saw, of course, I saw all the different Casio G-Shocks that are out there, and I like those too, but for some reason I was drawn to this, and part of the reason was for the functionality of the ABC, altimeter, barometer, and compass. That kind of drew me in as well to buy this watch. And the features on here are just overflowing. Just like with any Pro Trek, it's just going to come jam-packed with a ton of features. I believe all the Pro Trek watches are ABC watches. Again, that's the altimeter, barometer, and compass. Of course, there's other functions as well. As you go down here to the mode button, you get the daylight savings time there. You get the sunrise. You get the date up there as well. I forget what that is. You get a stopwatch. You get a timer. You get alarms. I believe there's 5 alarms on this watch. You get world time, and you can cycle through the world time there, and goes back to the time. You can switch to the barometer graph up top. You can keep that always displayed, or the day and the date, or the month and the date. I usually keep it on the month. But just a lot of functions. Again, you have the compass up top here. You got the barometer as well, and the altimeter. And you can look up videos to find out what all those do in detail. It's not the purpose of this video to go into all of that right now, but that's what drew me to this watch, was the look and the features and functionality that is found here. And I've found this watch to be super durable over these 5 years that I've had it. You can see it's well worn and scratched up, even on the mineral crystal as well. You can see different scratches there, but it still functions just like it did from day one. And really, even being a solar watch, it's being constantly powered by natural light and artificial light, and you can see it has a battery power indicator, and it's still on high. And it basically has been on high since the first month that I owned this watch, and it has remained there. So that is something that I love as well. That's what drew me. There's other ABC watches from other companies, but I was looking for something solar powered, something where I didn't have to worry about a battery dying on me if I was out in the wilderness or something like that, or on a hike. Like some other watches, or even some of those smart watches with GPS and stuff where you have to charge them every day. I wanted something I didn't have to worry about, and I find that in any solar watch, and that's what I love here about this Casio Pro Trek, that solar powered functionality where you don't have to worry about the battery dying on you. But this watch is super durable. I've worn it in so many different situations, working jobs in the rain, in the mud, digging fence post holes. I've gone swimming in fresh water with this watch. I've gone swimming in salt water with this watch as well, and just beat it up. It's just completely beat up, and yet it still keeps going. And I love the character that has been put into this watch. You can see there's a big chunk taken out of the guard around the barometer button there. I don't even know how that happened. But the case here is resin, and I'll leave all the specs at the end of the video of the size. I believe the size of the case is about 52 millimeters, so it's large for sure. And actually, I'm going to put it on the wrist right now so you can see what that looks like, and then we'll keep talking about this wonderful watch. Just give me a second. Here it is on my 6.5-inch wrist. You can see it's large for sure. I feel like it's not quite too large, even though my wrists are on the smaller size. I think I can get away with this larger watch here, and I have worn it like I said, for the past 5 years. And no one's come up to me and said, hey, your watch is too big for your wrist. That would be funny if someone had that happen to them. But it hasn't happened to me. Well, let me know what you guys think. I think it looks all right. But it is a big watch. Of course, I've got my Citizen ProMaster Tough there in the background. That's what I was wearing. And that's much smaller than this. Big time. So you can see. But it's not too big. Not too big where it's uncomfortable. And it's a super lightweight watch. Basically, when it's on your wrist, you don't even know that it's there. And just a really comfortable piece. And really enjoyed wearing it. And so there it is on the wrist. Let me take it back off and we'll try and wrap up this video. So the Casio PRG-270, is it the best ABC watch for the money, is the question. I think it could be. How much do these cost? Well, this particular model, I think right now on Amazon you can find this one for about $200, but there are so many different variations of the PRG-270 that you can find some of them for under $100. And really, this is the entry level to the Pro Trek line of Casio. They have various watches in the Pro Trek line, and some of them can get quite expensive, but this one starts at the bottom and is perhaps the cheapest that you can find if you're looking for a Pro Trek and an ABC watch. So I think this watch is the best value for the money if you're looking for an ABC watch. You can see the case back here, held in place by those 4 screws. It's got the triple sensor over here. Some things I don't like about this watch is the band. This is the second band that I've had for it. The first one that came with it ended up wearing out in some of these joints here, and they became brittle and broke eventually. So I just bought another band. So that's something you have to watch out for, but that has nothing to do with the watch per se. I cut down the band to fit my wrist better. Some of you might not like me for that, but I just can't stand having this long flap hanging around, flapping in the wind on my wrist. So I kind of cut it back so it doesn't do that. Anyway, I hope none of you are triggered by that. Some other things I don't like I mentioned already, is the bad glare on this watch. I think you can buy some, I don't know, sticker type things you can put on to help with that. I've never had any experience with those, but the reflection is pretty bad. And especially in sunlight and stuff, sometimes this watch can be hard to see. Another thing that makes this watch one of the cheaper versions in the Pro Trek line is that it's not radio controlled, so it does not receive a signal from one of the atomic clock stations around the world, and that's okay with me. I've never owned an atomic watch or a radio controlled watch. But there's no radio syncing up here, no Bluetooth or anything like that. And so that's what makes it a little bit cheaper. So, I mean, the accuracy is still great, being a quartz solar-powered movement. It's about plus minus 15 seconds per month. So it's super accurate, but you will have to adjust it over time. Overall, it's a great watch, and I recommend it. I'm going to turn off the lights and let you see the light that is on here before we go, and then we'll close out this video. So here's the light function. It goes on for about 3 seconds right now. I think you can change that setting. but it's a nice blue color, and works great, especially when it's super dark. And you can set it so that it comes on when you raise your wrist, which is a neat feature that Casio has. I turned that off because, to save battery and such. I felt like it was coming on when I didn't want it to, but it really works great. So I'll come back to you with the lights on, and finally, I've already said it a number of times, we'll close out this video for this review. Well, there you have it, the Casio Pro Trek PRG-270-1A. A great piece, and if you're looking for a good, durable ABC watch that is well worth the money, kind of an entry-level ABC watch, I think this is the best option that's out there. If you guys have any other suggestions of competitors for the price range of $100 to $200 for an ABC watch, let me know. If you think there's some watches out there that are a better value for the money in that realm of ABC watches. But thanks for tuning in to this video, and I hope that you'll subscribe and support our channel, and we'll see you next time.